Good evening and welcome to Thursdays with NAMI. My name is Peg Morrison. I'll be your host for the night. I am the Assistant Director of NAMI North Carolina. That's the National Alliance on Mental Illness, North Carolina. I'm glad you're here. Thursdays with NAMI is our way of building community and building conversations around the topic of mental health. It's also our way of sort of spreading the NAMI experience. At NAMI, I learned to speak the language of recovery and hope, and we're hoping more and more people can get a taste of that and be part of our NAMI family. So tonight we'll be talking with three amazing veterans who live in the South Mountain State Park area of North Carolina. One of them, John Widener, is a winner of the 2021 Governor's Medallion Service Award. Now that's a designation that only goes to the top volunteers around the state. He is joined by veterans James Howell and Diane Krisanda. All of them are doing incredible things to help others, and we'll be focusing on them in just a moment. As usual, the first part of our show will be an interview with our guests. Halfway through, we'll show a video of the week, and then we'll spend time answering questions from you, members of our virtual studio audience. Now, at this point, I always take just a moment to share a word for our sponsors. NAMI North Carolina is funded in part by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Division of Mental Health, Developmental Disabilities, and Substance Abuse Services. We're grateful for their guidance and their support. And moving right along, I'm going to start with these bios. John Widener, during his 10 years in the Navy, John was a propulsion engineer, a Gulf War veteran. He was temporarily paralyzed from the waist down after a serious auto accident. With surgery and effort, he came back strong from that. Although he still lives with anxiety, depression, chronic pain, and some other challenges, but that doesn't stop him from getting out there and filling the cups of other people around him, especially veterans in Burke County. James Howell is with us. He served in Vietnam as a Marine infantryman. Today, he's the chaplain of the Disabled Veterans Chapter 43 in Morganton. He's also an active member of NAMI South Mountains. And according to Diane, he's a darn good storyteller. So we'll be putting that to the test tonight. Diane Krisanda is the president of our NAMI South Mountain affiliate. Earlier in her career, she spent 17 years as a certified activity director and other leadership roles with a psychiatric unit in Pennsylvania. She moved to NC 6 years ago. She and her husband are both veterans. She served with the Army Reserves, and he was a Vietnam veteran in the Army. Welcome, guests.
Thank you.
All right, so you can go in any order you'd like for this. We always like to know the background of our guests. Tell us your story in a nutshell.
John's muted. You're muted.
John, would you like to go first?
He's muted.
John,
you're muted. Go ahead, James.
my name is James A. Howell. Part of the lives of 58,479 did return from Vietnam. I did, praise the Lord. I'm here to encourage all people to get involved with this special group that we're involved with people helping change their lives that's going through post-traumatic stress syndromes and all kinds of situations that only you can tell us about. But thanks be to God, we got someone to help us with our situation. Thank God for NAMI.
Thanks, James, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Still muted.
No, you sound good now.
All right, I had a technical difficulty here. Sorry about that. My name is John Widener. Basically, I grew up in Winston-Salem. When I was young, graduated from high school, moved on into the military after high school, and I served 10 years there. A little bit about me, I enjoy doing outdoor activities. I'm a very outdoor person. I love helping others, and that's just a little bit of a nutshell there. So.
All right. Well, thanks, John. And I see you've got your award right behind you. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And Diane.
Yes, so I grew up on a private estate. My dad was a private chauffeur for William J. Levitt, the builder and founder of Levittown, Pennsylvania. And my dad just realized he wasn't spending enough time with his family. And then he said, we're going to move. And it's like, okay, Dad. And my dad was a medic in the Army. So here we go. We were moved from Long Island, New York into Pennsylvania. He purchased my grandmother's home. I just seen how hard my dad had worked. And I was in a relationship at that time. And needless to say, I was at the mall and I saw the recruitment team, the Army. And I wanted to learn. My dad was a medic in the Army, my grandfather in World War II, who I highly respected. So they talked me into it. There we go. Okay. So then they come in a car and they pick you up, right? Because you have to go, my designation for my testing, it's a very long written test. What automobiles and engines have to do with it, I have no idea, but I sort of got through that very well. But anyway, I went in to Fort Dix, New Jersey, the Army Depot, and I went in and they had given me a test and I went through the test and he said, okay, Diane, we're going to take you back and we'll let you know how you did. If you get a phone call from us, it means that you passed and you can be in the reserves. And I'm like, okay. So needless to say, that's how I got in the reserves.
So there was a written test?
Yep.
Huh.
Yep. You had to take a written test. Remember, James, did you have to take that, John?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Yeah.
A written test. Yep. They had a little bit of everything.
Everything.
Math and English and states and like weapons and just like a variety of different things. My mother was furious that I joined the military. What did you do? You realize you can go to war? And I said, Mom, relax. Relax. I'm doing this for me and I'm doing it because Grandpa did it and Dad did it. And I really want to be able to make something of my life and to feel good about what I'm doing.
Man.
And then she forgave me. So,
Aw.
yeah, she goes, I love you, Diane. I'm like,
Oh, that's lovely. That's just such a sweet story. So thank you for that. Now you've all had your share of tough times, but you've all accomplished some pretty neat things. Tell us what you're most proud of, and we can just keep going, John, James, Diane, if that's okay.
Okay. Well, my one accomplishment that I actually want to talk about that Peg talked about in the beginning was my Governor's Medallion Award, which is right behind me here. It's the one with the flag on there, ribbon. That's the medallion itself. The great thing about that is it's something that I never really actually thought I would achieve, but I was surprised and very overwhelmed when I received it. What goes into that award was actually a lot of time spent at our chapter here in Morganton, North Carolina. I spent I've been there for 3 years. I served over almost 500 veterans now through that chapter. And go out, talk to them, communicate with them. We send an email back and forth. I spend a lot of time with the veterans and also deal with working with them with the as far as service claims on Saturdays. I spend a lot of time on helping them with their service claims. I also not only just in the chapter wise, but outside the chapter, I've spent a lot of time in helping the homeless veterans when I spent a lot of time helping them, and actually it's down here at the oh goodness, now it slipped my mind. But this is a food pantry, basically what it is.
That Burke Christian Ministries, John.
Thank you, Diane. That's
You're
it.
welcome.
Yeah, the Burke Christian Ministries there. Spent a little time over there talking to different people there, and I found that there's a lot of veterans there, and I talked to them, spend time there, talk to them coming over to our chapter so we can help them there as well. During the time of the COVID vaccine, I actually sent out packages to all of our shut-in veterans, you know, the ones who couldn't get out, and I spent I think we had over 25 packages to deliver that day. And
So what was in the packages, John?
there was varieties of snacks, t-shirts, just your basic needs like your shaving cream, soap, and then there's a little bit of gifts in there, things like bracelets or wrist bracelets and things. And the thing is what we did is we got the packages basically to their service. It's like if it was an Army veteran, then they would have an Army t-shirt and things like that. Military, Marines, same thing. So, but I spent time delivering those packages, and that was really a great time. Another thing we did there that this all kind of wraps up into the medallion here, but Diane came down and we actually had a luncheon for the veterans.
Yes, very good.
This time frame was basically during the time that a lot of the veterans didn't come out to have anything to do, because a lot of times we'd have the meal over there at the Higher Education Center here in Morganton. Well, that year during the COVID thing, it wasn't going to happen that year, and I really felt hard on my heart because I wanted the veterans to know that they were meaningful and it was important. So Diane came down. We came up with an idea of having a hot dog luncheon, and we had fed what was it, a little over 100 veterans, I think it was, somewhere around there. And that was really, really a good thing. You know, this Diane being the president of NAMI South Mountain, and we actually got to join together with the DAV and NAMI to join together for the first time, and it was really a great turnout. But there's a lot more I could go into the medallion, but I think I'll probably be here all day with what I do, because I support the veterans in any way I can, mental health wise. We have a veterans connection group, and it's a NAMI connection group.
Yes,
we have that there every other Monday, and that is on the second and the fourth Monday. I think it's right. I don't have my calendar in front of me, but I think it's the second and the fourth Monday of every month. And we're there to support the veterans. So it's really great.
Well, thank you for being here tonight and for all that you do. I love the care package idea. Just if I'm a shut-in veteran, maybe I feel alone in the world. Maybe I don't think anybody cares or remembers my service. And so the emotional piece, the fact that you personalized it with their branch of military and came to deliver it yourself, that's just, I'm sure that made a profound difference for those folks. James, tell us about your proudest moments.
Well, my proudest moments was when, my very proudest moment was when I was 17 years old and hit Parris Island, South Carolina, and achieved my goal as becoming a United States Marine Corps grunt. That was very, 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 very powerful. I had severe brain trauma from shrapnel and everything, but I've made it thus far, and here again with the organization that I'm involved in now, that's helping me keep myself above and not beneath, making me realize that there is a purpose for all people in the world, and especially for veterans who serve the world, who will give to the world, who died for the world, and who will stand for the world. And we just know that NAMI and the DAV is the perfect organization for you to join. Come join us. You will appreciate us. We will enjoy one another, and we will help America be strong.
Well, there's a lot wrapped into that. You're a chaplain with the Disabled Veterans, also
Yep.
known as the DAV.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
right. You're doing a lot of work with some great organizations and probably really reaching people who just are in a very vulnerable place. They've given so much and they've done so much. Maybe they're disabled, maybe they have mental health challenges, maybe both. And I'm sure that you're there to lift them up in those moments when they need it the most.
And I also have G1, God's One, at Jamestown Flea Market on Saturday mornings. On Sunday mornings, since I go to DAV on Saturday mornings, giving out literature to veterans and reaching out to helping veterans, helping their family realize that it's truly God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you. And I need to say that NAMI is completely open as to God. If you are an atheist, or if you're a Christian or a Buddhist, there are many paths to being a good person. So I just want to acknowledge that if a lot of us are Christians, but if you're not, that is totally great with us.
Come one, come all. Veterans.
There we go. Diane.
I'm really proud that I was able to go into the military and serve our country. I met a wonderful man, and who would know that we both served in the military. I'm proud of my son, and I'm proud of being in North Carolina, surrounded by so many wonderful people. And I can't say enough about everybody here. And NAMI, I'm very proud of NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and helping and serving others, and how we have impacted so many lives, serving our veterans, young adults, the older adults. And at the end of the day, I can say we did something today to make a difference. So that's what I'm proud of.
Well, that was short and sweet, and that sums it right up. At the end of the day, you want to feel like you did the right thing. And they've actually done studies that helping other people releases those endorphins. There are chemical things that happen in your brain that help you feel good. So when you lift up someone else, you're really lifting up yourself too. So next question, what were some of your dark days like? I know you've all had some serious challenges that you've overcome or learned to manage.
Well, on my dark days, actually, the one thing that was my darkest time is when I was in the military. I was actually going to be making a career of it. I was in for 10 years, and I was on my way home from work, or actually on my way to work. I'm on my way to work at the NOB base. I wanted to, I basically 64 is always backed up, and going into the NOB base in Virginia, I was sitting dead still, and next thing I know is my senior chief rear-ends me at 70 miles an hour at a dead stop. It broke my seat in the car. Next thing I know is that I don't feel anything from my waist down. I didn't know what happened. And they took me into the hospital, and they did some x-rays and this and that. Come to find out that my fifth lumbar, or my L5 vertebrae was completely shattered. It basically had clamped onto my sciatic nerve, and the darkest days was then. Is basically I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to walk again. That was the most struggle I've had in my lifetime, and that really was very devastating. But with a lot of ambition and a lot of support,
Yes.
and a lot of the nurses was actually just wasn't giving up on me at all. They were very cruel in a way, but they were not very cruel in a way. They was just trying to make me go and try to walk. And
So they were
today,
pushing you to go through the pain, is that right? They
yeah,
were
they
pushing
were
you.
pushing me through the pain. I would be pushing back, you know. A lot of times I would want to give up, and they told me, no, you're not going to do that. Then my senior chief came in, paid me a visit, and he said that he wanted to see how I was, and it meant a lot to me then. And he just kept on pushing
CRG.
me through. I'm sorry.
CRG stands for what? I'm sorry for the interruption.
It's senior chief, the senior chief petty officer. He actually just talked to me, and he told me that I was, how good I was doing. He basically talked to me about all the good things that I was doing, trying to take my mind off of what happened. And he told me, he says, you have the ambition to be able to go forward. And it took me almost 8 months to get back on my feet. Through all the therapy and everything, I didn't have a diver bone put in. I had what they call an engineered vertebrae that actually fit in my spine. And it's some kind of plastic, it's all I know. But they put this in, and they kept on making me walk and try to get my motivation going back again. Today I do walk. I do not have, I have very limited feeling in my legs because of the damage that's done to the sciatica. And it goes down both legs. I have over 20% loss of feeling in both legs. So I don't really feel the ground very well when I walk, but it was a challenge, and that was a dark day for me.
Not bad. How long did you live with that uncertainty between the accident and realizing you would walk again?
Well, from the accident until I was actually starting to walk was about almost a year before I actually started walking. And then I'd keep on going through my therapy. So I really wasn't actually really strong on my feet until about a year and a half. And I started actually walking without a cane or a walker or anything. I was doing very well without it. So, and of course now my old age is picking up with me, and now it's causing me to go back to walking with a cane and having to use devices and all these other things to help me through the day. As I have a really bad case of arthritis, and I have degenerative disc disease and joint disease, so that's tearing my body down. But the older you get, the harder it is. So, but I don't let it stop me, because I remember the motivation I had to go through the walk again, and it keeps me going. And this Medallion award is just going to push me even further.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. You can kind of feel the energy and the momentum as you talk about that. James, tell us about yourself. What were your challenging times like?
Well, my most challenging time has been with me basically all my life from the time I was a child, and that was being able to comprehend and understand the English vocabulary. So sometimes my mind goes a little bit here and a little bit there because I still have shrapnel all in my head. and I was diagnosed as epileptic for 21 years, grand mal seizures. And then I started getting involved in different organizations that was positive, and hopefully I'm answering the question correctly. Positive, like leading me up to NAMI, like Prison Fellowship with Chuck Colson, done many years with him at Prison Fellowship all over the nation, doing different seminars. My wife and I, growing in just different great seminars. And hopefully I get to the point, sometimes my mind just, as I said, I don't blame nothing on nothing, because I know I'm moving forward now. And I know that with a group that's concerned about people, as NAMI is, knowing NAMI for just a short time and knowing that the effect that they've had on my life as a veteran, helping me as a veteran, I just know that it's the right thing to do. And as I said, I don't blame nothing on nothing, but hopefully the point is being made that something's happening here that's bigger than we are, and it's helping people with lives, and it does not affect your belief in life. It's just people helping people, which my saying is hurt people, heal people, help people heal, and that is NAMI. I am so glad to be a part of the DAV, Disabled American Veteran, a chaplain, very, very honored, humbly, and even more honored to be a part of NAMI. So hopefully that sums it up.
I love all that positive energy, James. And just so I understand, you were injured with shrapnel in Vietnam?
No, ma'am. I had an incident on leave. I came home on leave. The world's just now beginning to hear this. I came home on leave with orders to go directly to Okinawa, Vietnam. Got into a conflict with a civilian person, and therefore he done serious injury to my body with a gunshot wound. But the military, as I said, I'm a very, very honored, proud to be a Marine all the days of my life. So the military has done their part, and I would always say, God bless America to the military. And here again, things has happened inside of my head that's still there. I was paralyzed for 4 months, totally paralyzed, and everything changed because of positive people like NAMI.
You both have had that experience of wondering if you ever would walk again, and then coming back from that and being mobile again. That's amazing. That's an amazing thing to have in common.
Yes,
I love, James, your comment too, that hurt people and healed people help others. I'd heard the first part of that statement, but I love the second part. That's that kind of brings that ray of sunshine at the end of it.
That's the only way we're going to be able to survive as the human race, the greatest race of all, helping one another. I am my brother's keeper. We are our brother's keeper here at NAMI, DAV. Come join us and you will really get to see. It's not fictitious, it's for real. We want to help people that need help like we need help. Helping one another.
Yeah, I've definitely had some of my best healing conversations with my NAMI friends, and
Oh, yes.
you're right. This is a
Yeah.
place where we can come together. The world is full of divisions right
you feel
now.
home. Make you feel right at home. Make you feel right at home.
Yep. That's right.
You're
We will
welcome.
definitely make you feel home.
You're
That's
needed.
for sure.
You're needed.
All right. I'm sorry, Diane.
So I was in a relationship prior to going into the military, and in the relationship, I found myself giving it my all, but the person, he wasn't giving it his all. The way he was giving his all was verbally and physically abusing me. And you know, I had self-confidence and I had self-esteem. But really, you're in a relationship, you want to do everything you can to make it work. So with that being said, I continued taking the abuse, really not knowing.
Mm.
And then when I had went to the mall that day and I met with that Army recruiter, I thought, this is something I really need to do for me. So then when I went in to the reserves and I did my boot camp and, you know, all the maneuvers we have to do, you know, you learn to be very strong.
Yes, ma'am.
Your self-esteem and your self-confidence just like goes up. Like it makes you a sense of belonging, but you're unstoppable. Like nobody's going to come and railroad you or physically. And that was always in the back of my mind too. I'm learning all these maneuvers, right? So then it was then when I went back home, still in the relationship, where I began to see myself as this other person and just said, you know what? I don't need you. I do not need you. I don't need what you have done to me. And just send him on his way. He didn't want to leave, but, you know, I told him I was a military girl and he better leave. But not, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, that's why that time in my life, it meant so much, the going, because it was just the timing, I guess is what I want to say.
Yes.
So I just wanted to share that. And I'm thankful that I did what I did. Going into the military, yes, I went through something. But you know what? Today, I can actually say I can advocate for individuals for domestic violence and sexual abuse. So that's where I enjoy providing a support group. So that's what I wanted to share.
Diane, you never cease to amaze me. Thank you for being vulnerable. I didn't know you went through that. And you are definitely one of the strongest advocates I know. That's powerful stuff. That's powerful stuff.
Thank you.
And this is the kind of conversation we have at NAMI, where it's a safe space and we can share these deeper parts of ourselves that have been through things and come back and we make each other stronger.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you all for that. So how did, you kind of answered this just now, Diane, this next question. How did being in the military affect your mental health? And Diane, if you want to follow up on that, it sounds like it was very good for yours.
Oh, it was very healthy and beneficial. I learned to be in a platoon, which is a group of people. We were actually Charlie at 18-5. We sort of looked out for each other and came together. We talked and did maneuvers together. It was more or less like a platoon, but you're team building as well. So I think that was a big help. And just hearing other individuals and them sharing their experiences from the homes that they came from to be in the military as well. And it was really positive. And you just felt, it gave you a sense of pride when you were marching, when you were singing songs and things like that.
Yes.
Your maneuvers, you could make it climbing a wall. You could make it in a gas chamber, right? And it just like picks you up that you're able to do that. And it just really strengthens you. So yeah, that's what I really appreciated very much so. Yeah.
Very inspiring stuff. John, James, what inspired you, or what was the impact on your mental health from being in the military?
Mine was the impact that I had in the military is that it changed me and made me grow up, actually become a person of who I should be, you know, because I was actually a very wild child. Believe it or not, I was one of the rambunctious little teenagers. After I got out of high school, I was just really didn't have a destination in my path. I didn't have anywhere I thought I would go. And the one thing that I was always looking for was my dad to actually support me and to be there, you know, with me. But there was that one connection that I never could find. And we were always just kind of separated in a way. But I told him I was going to join the military, and he said, "Well, that's good." So, you know, he was happy for me. He was all for it. My mom was totally against it, but he was for it. And I went into the military. The day I graduated boot camp is when I realized that the military made me who I am. And that's when my dad told me, he says, "You are a man." And I had never heard those words ever from my dad at all. And that's what I was missing, was that connection. And he told me that, he says, "Now you are a man, that, you know, there's something different about you, and I like it." And that's what basically from that point on is what made me stay with the military and try to, I just liked it. It was just, it was something that got into my blood, and it just stayed with me. So.
I always thought the military sounded really good for structure, and I'm someone who likes structure.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense to me. And it's wonderful that it was something that your father respected, and that he communicated that with you. It sort of helped with some validation or filling a gap that was there between the two of you. James, how did the military affect your mental health?
When I went into the military, I was really confused and rejected by the world, my sister and I. I can't help but bring her in it, because me and her had to survive, because we were the children in the community that had no name fathers. You know, we didn't have like nobody else. We didn't have all that. So that inspired me to go to the military. At the age of 9 years old, I watched a movie called The Battle of the Green Beret. And I watched how they trained and how they stuck together as a unit, as a team, which I'd never been a part of that, but it still inspired me to want to be a part of that. And so I went ahead and joined the Marine Corps so I could take care of me and my sister. And I took care of my sister, and it was a great adventure. And the only reason why I'm not in my uniform today is because they've given me a 100% disability and an honorable discharge, and said, "You are now free to love America the way you want to." So I say, God bless America. Hopefully that's all I know.
And today you're wearing your NAMI uniform too. That's a NAMI shirt you've got on. So that's
yeah, we both got our NAMIs. Yeah. Oh, there you go. You'll see the back of it. Well, stamp a little bit. There you go.
All right.
There you go.
And we
All right.
with
Very, very impressive dedication, both of you. You're very organized. You've got a great presence here tonight, representing your military identity and also NAMI. So well done, well done.
I love NAMI.
NAMI number one. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for the military, there wouldn't be no NAMI. So we thank God for the military as well as NAMI. We thank NAMI as well as the military. We thank God bless America. That's what we think as veterans and of NAMI and people that's been hurt, that's trying to help people that's hurt, heal people that's hurt, because hurt people and heal people heal people. So let's go about healing people in the right way. God bless America.
There you go.
That's can't think of a better note to end that conversation on. And what words of wisdom do you have for veterans who are struggling with their mental health now? We can start with John again if you'd like.
Well, I actually, on that note there, I would say, we were talking about NAMI, a South Mountain affiliate. When I first come to know them was through my wife. She was, she's a very gung-ho individual with NAMI. She has a loving heart, and she really kind of pushed me into a little bit about NAMI, because she really never really realized or acknowledged that I had a mental health problem. And I was kind of shy and stayed away from NAMI, to be honest, until one day I met Diane. And Diane, oh my gosh, you're amazing. She inspired me so much that it actually just opened me up. And that was a very hard nut to crack, believe me, it was. But
you meaning you yourself? You were myself, the hard nut to crack?
Yes, I was a very hard one to open up with that. And Diane has invited me to her home. I mean, it was just, me and my wife come to her house. We spent time with her in the office there. And it was just it was another side of that I didn't really know I needed. And then the more I got into more about NAMI, the more people I met, it made me feel more comfortable to where I could actually share my story with everybody else. So, yeah.
Nice note from Gary. We want to clone Diane, and truer words were never said. So as far as encouragement, and I think we've established that NAMI is pretty awesome. So if other things come to your mind, that is also very great. James, what words of wisdom do you have for folks who are struggling with their mental health right now, veterans in particular?
3 words. Never give up.
Yeah, and of course that's now I'm going back to NAMI, the 10th principle on the list of principles of support, which we read on at every support group. So that is a really important one. Got to just keep walking towards the goal, don't we?
And that's an individual effort. So we got to do it one at a time. No one left behind. No man left behind. No person left behind.
That's a great military slogan that we need to pull into NAMI. I like that one. Diane, what words of wisdom do you have?
Lean on me. Yes, I there's always hope, and individuals have struggles. And I remember James coming up and singing that wonderful song when we were all together, and it just brought so much harmony to individuals. It just set the tone for everybody that was here that day on May 22nd, the day of the NAMI walk. And that sort of just sticking with me, James.
Great. Me too.
And how everybody just all of a sudden, everybody stopped what they were doing and just sang with James. So I think that's a good one to lean on me, right? Because we never really want anybody alone, right? We want to be able to serve and help others.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that is a fabulous song. I love Bill Withers. I love that song. And I think part of the process is being there for other people. And part of the process is saying to ourselves, it's okay to be the leaner.
Thank you.
It's okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful answers. So let's talk about your vision. What would you like to see for military personnel, veterans and families? like, what is your vision for them in the future, 20 years out? What services are there? What does that look like?
Go ahead, John.
Oh, you go ahead, Diane.
I would really like to see more individuals to come forth to help our veterans. I believe that our veterans, like we had said, no one left behind, right? We have so many vets that are homeless.
Yes.
And some of us, I know, strive, and we can only do so much. So I would really like to see like a gated community or something where they're building those little houses. And I know Peg and I had talked about that. Little houses for veterans to start housing our veterans. And also, I would really like to see a step down unit when veterans are leaving, like the state hospital, to be able to step down and go into another place just to see how they're doing, because they just spend time in the state hospital. And with the veteran, when they're in combat and things like that, you know, they don't mean to have like the triggers. They don't mean to have flashbacks. That's something that happened, and that comes from the PTSD. And sometimes that can never leave a person. It has a way of creeping back up on you. That's what else I would like to see. And for them to have maybe, you know, to be supervised or have a peer support specialist, because they're very valuable individuals, and mental health services to make individuals aware of what we're doing. NAMI does the NAMI home front for the service members, which is very well attended. Well, other than that, I really haven't heard of any other programs that are quite like it. And I'm not trying to be biased, but it's really connected a lot of the service members' families from when they're sharing, and they tell you what they need for their loved ones. And medication, not knowing what's the diagnosis. There's not enough psychiatrists. There's not enough individuals that know about our veterans. And when you meet veterans, they'll say to you, I'd rather talk to a vet rather than just, you know, somebody that's not a veteran. And they even say that about their family members, that they'd rather come to another veteran who can understand versus than telling their loved one and just getting them stressed out. So yeah, I would like to see that. And medications, and for them to have more trips for our veterans to where they could go on a boat and go out fishing.
Yes.
And do things like that, to have like a big recreation day and say, come on, veterans, we're going to have a big fishing day, and do it throughout the state. And
Yes.
you know, because yeah, that's what I would like to see for our veterans, because I care about you guys, all the veterans out there.
Yeah.
I
I'm
love that
definitely-
answer.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that 100%, Diane. That's one of my goals. I mean, I'd love to see more help for the veterans, especially here in Burke County.
Yes.
I see so limited amount of
There.
help for the veterans, and you know, I want to see more. And I think that, you know, by NAMI coming out, I believe that's going to actually open up a lot of doors.
Sure. Yes.
Just like you were saying,
Mhm.
that, you know, a veteran doesn't want to go to somebody that doesn't know anything about military. You know, they don't want to do that. They want to go to another veteran. And that is so true. I find another thing in veterans and helping under, you know, as far as helping in 20 years from now, is to be more supportive for the families and being there for the family, because the family suffers as much with a loss of their veterans or a loss of a loved one from wartime or something like that. They don't understand. And when you have a family go into like a counseling session or something, then and they try to explain about their veterans and their health, and they don't understand any of the terminology from the civilian life to the military life. It's a whole different world. You know, it's so. And I mean, I see a lot of potential that's going to be happening in the next few years coming. And our chapter here in Morganton is really pushing everything we have to reach all the veterans here that we can. So, you know.
Yeah. I'm really getting a lot out of your answers. Go ahead, James.
I'm fine. I'm just listening. I'm excited. I'm excited about what's going to take place in the future, the next 20 years.
Oh, we're going to make that boat trip happen. There's no problem there.
Oh, there you
We'll
go.
find a way.
So
Yeah, we'll make it.
I'm
Yeah,
very
we're gonna
excited about
go
the next 20
fishing.
years because we have a team here that is really, I said really, concerned about hurt people that have hurting problems that continue to want to ponder and mess their mind up. But with NAMI, with the organization of NAMI, the DAV, I know that America can be helped through this organization. From Disabled American Veteran, we can be helped. Because I was helped, and Jack, if I was helped, believe me, you can get some help.
There you go.
And I just would like to add too, I would like to see them advance in medicine,
Yes.
how to better treat our veterans and how to better assist them when they do come home from combat and for what they just went through. Don't wait, get on it, you know, because if they know that people are caring and want to do that treatment to be able to help them, then that would be really, really a good thing to do. And I think that that's really, really important. And also, I would really like to see a reduction in our veterans that are taking their lives.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I would really like to see that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. Very, very, very powerful.
I'm with you on that 100%.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, absolutely. The suicide rate for veterans is appalling. There are different numbers. It seems to be over 20 a day in our country. And it's, yeah, as I learned more and more about mental health and housing, where the bulk of my career has been, I was appalled to learn first that so many veterans end up homeless, and then even more appalled to learn that so many complete suicide. So those are just terrible, terrible statistics. I love your vision, all of you. I love the emphasis on housing. I love your talk about post-traumatic stress disorder. I've heard it described as a drain that's clogged and you need to unclog it, you know, but stuff keeps coming up. It's a process and it's long-term. And your, you know, John and James, your comments about what is being done and what it takes to connect with people and the language that veterans speak. Gary commented in the chat box that it's a cultural competence, which makes perfect sense. And another comment in the chat, an analysis in 2013 found the suicide rate was 30 per 100,000 population per year, compared with the civilian rate of 14 per 100,000. I've heard it framed a lot of different ways, depending on whether you count the reserves, the Coast Guard, you know, how you frame the numbers, but it's much too high. We're all agreed on that. So what gives you hope? You've sort of touched on it already. If you have something to add on that note, this is your time to do so.
Programs like this that are reaching the world, not just reaching the communities, that's reaching out to the world. Here again, sound like an echo, to help people that's hurt, heal easier in life. Some gave all gave some. God bless America.
Thank you, James. John, Diane?
Go ahead, John.
Just reach out. Just reach out, and don't be afraid to speak up.
Right on.
There's so many times that we're afraid to say anything or to speak up, or because we felt like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I might upset somebody or this. The thing is that one thing I've always learned is that when you're asking questions, the one question that you don't ask is the one that doesn't get answered because you didn't ask. So speak up.
Yes, sir.
Don't be ashamed. There's always somebody there to help you, and especially NAMI, South Mountain.
Yes, sir.
Any veteran out there will do the same thing. They will help you. They're there for you. We've had that team membership type thing. That's me and James are like brothers.
Right. And we've got in the chat box information on the NAMI North Carolina helpline. If you want help getting connected with NAMI South Mountains or help with resources in your area, please give us a call. Also, the National Suicide Hotline is there. You can call 24/7 to get connected to a real person. Might take a few minutes. I've called them before to test that line, but they're very good and they're there for you 24/7. James.
Yes.
Any other thoughts about hope?
Keep hope alive.
All right.
I have a wonderful acronym that I use for hope, by the way, is hold on, pain ends.
That's great.
Right.
John, you forgot to mention one thing here, how you're reaching military and veterans in other countries and in the United States. You're having that listening ear to be able to listen to them and understand them, give them empathy, compassion.
Yeah, that is very true. I did forget to mention that, but that is very true.
Good job.
Just lending that ear to listen.
Yes.
And that's all through the United States. And that's even, I even actually meet with a veteran. He's actually from Alaska. And he's a great individual. And I'll lend him a little bit of my ear. And so, it's all over the world. Yeah, you're right, Diane. That's a good point. Thank you.
Yeah. And I just wanted to share, hope. It's like giving back, right, to our veterans.
Yes, ma'am.
Being there for them and like giving back to them, whether it be like I know we had Christmas cards and we had written them out. And when my husband had an appointment at the VA Medical Center, I found myself taking a bag of Christmas cards and asking if they could hand that out to the veterans over in the hospital. And then it went to socks. Well, let's give our veterans some socks. Every time there was some kind of a gift,
Yes.
Yeah.
they didn't have to know who it was from, because what do vets always say that they need most of is socks, right? Because their boots and everything get wet, right? And they're always having wet feet. So that's what we did. And like John and James has said, like the outreach of giving them a dinner. They don't owe us a thank you. We're just doing it because we care. And really, we could offer dinner to anybody, right? If we wanted to. So that gives me hope when I can reach out to somebody and help a person. That's my hope.
Yes,
because NAMI's, and I know we're talking a lot about NAMI, I guess, because we're all affiliated with.
Right.
Yeah. But the saying is, we never give up hope.
Never.
And that sort of stays with you, and it just sort of makes you feel good. That it gives me motivation.
Yes, ma'am.
it gives me a drive of adrenaline that I can't even explain.
Well,
And,
that's interesting because we've literally had conversations in the office about how on earth does Diane have so much energy?
Diane, you're saying something about veterans. I remember the time that me and you met up at that one church to have the dinner for the veterans there.
That was, yeah, Key Pendulum. He reached out to NAMI when he wanted to have a meal, and here his son suffered from a brain injury in combat. He was actually in a Jeep. And I'm sure he wouldn't mind me sharing that. He was in that jet in Kaboom. And he suffered some head injury and back. And his father is a minister. And he thought he wasn't really going to get his son back. So him and I met here. And here I talked to Pastor Benjamin. And as it turned out, I was able to connect with his son. Of course, his son had to be willing to come here. And it worked out really good because he shared different things, and he wasn't really aware of other services that were there for the veterans, which we were able to advocate for him and everything like that. So he was able to get involved with different services. We had the dinner for the veterans together. It was the church and NAMI. We were able to do that. We had gospel singers, African-American gospel singers came in and sang. It was awesome.
It was.
And we had all different individuals there. Asian, right, John?
Oh,
Everybody.
Yes.
And we got along and we prayed and we listened to the music, and boy, could they carry a tune.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah, I mean, it was so empowering, you know, and then you leave, and Keys, his son, he's Keys Senior, Keys, and then it's Keys Junior. He was there, and today he is engaged to be married. He's doing a lot better. He has a home and everything like that. And he'll only call, Diane, I'm not having a good day. That's okay. Let's talk about it. And then it passes, but he hasn't called me, I bet you, for about 6 months now. And that's okay. That's okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
But I
That's
just
wonderful.
wanted to share that, Peg, because, you know, just some of the things that we've been through with the veterans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Thank you.
My perception is that your group just moves forward with so much sincerity and so much heart. And so that can only attract people. So if you're ready, I'd like to transition to the interview or to the video part of our show. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to wrap up the interview part. Before we move to our video of the week, a big shout out to someone who's always working behind the scenes on Thursdays, Executive Director Gary Kreitz. Thank you for always being there. And of course, thanks to our guests for spending your evenings with us, but also for all that you do, for all the service you gave while in your military career, and all the hundreds and thousands of people in your communities who you've helped, whether they're veterans, folks with serious mental health challenges, folks who are homeless. On behalf of all of those people, thank you so much. Now, video of the week. We've had rain, torrential rain all day here in Raleigh. So in honor of Tropical Storm Elsa, and because we're always searching for a light moment on our video of the week, I've got a video of animals enjoying the rain. So let's check this out together. And word of warning, do not try that at home. If you've got a small dog, it should be in the back seat with a little seatbelt on, not riding on your lap, but it is awfully cute and
That
amusing.
was
So
priceless.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
don't try that at home.
I like the dog with the little binoculars on the wipers. I like that. That's pretty cool.
Thanks to the Pet Collective for that video. A nice group on YouTube that I found. Now it's time to take your questions, members of our virtual studio audience on Zoom and Facebook. We've got a few questions queued up already. Here we go. First one from Gary. What resources does the VA have for veterans with mental health challenges?
One of the things that I found on that was the resources that they actually have is actually one of them is actually NAMI. They actually support NAMI as an outsource
Yes.
for their counseling and for their group therapy. So that's one of the resources I know for sure.
I just want to say something. Not our group therapy. I think what you meant, John, was that we can refer individuals out to where they could go for therapy at a reasonable, we have a sliding scale of $5 to $10. And that is for veterans or anyone who wants to go. So that's a resource. Another one is the DAV for
Yes.
John. There's quite a few DAVs,
Yes.
disabled veterans across the state of North Carolina, to where individuals can get connected and they can help out. John, you're a great resource because you help individuals fill out their paperwork for the disability forms.
Yes.
And also for loved ones who may need to think ahead for funeral arrangements, correct? So you
Yes.
really help do that. And James, you're a chaplain. Individuals reach out to you to be able to talk. There's also the
Anytime.
VA Medical Center in Asheville, and I believe they have other ones. I apologize, I
Yeah,
don't know
it's
them
not several.
all, but they have that.
There's a Hickory Seabach as well, which is in Hickory.
And maybe Gary can even put, they also have like the suicide for individuals, like for our veterans, a hotline that they can call. I think that that's really, really important.
Yes, ma'am.
We also have a Google Voice that they can call. And I know that NAMI, North Carolina is really good, the helpline up there too. Where Virginia Ridias, the director for the helpline, she has a lot of great resources. So
Yes.
I've even called Virginia at certain times to say, Virginia, can you please? Absolutely, Diane. So her willingness to do that. So that's what I would say, like the DAVs, the American Legions,
Yes.
they do a lot and they give families involved and everything like that.
The VFW as well, the Veterans of Foreign War.
Yeah, Veterans of Foreign Wars. Yeah.
And
So there's quite a bit of resources out there for individuals, but we always want more, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
and there's also, I just actually got this list like 2 days ago, but there's actually, like if you go to talk to your local veteran, your VA hospitals or anything in your area, they actually have what they call a group discussion online. And you can actually go into different groups like relapse prevention, they got anger management, coping skills, there's so many different ones on this list, but they're free. And they just have a time on with a access to get to them by a website and a password, and you can actually go on those sites and you can actually get a lot of good information from them. So
All right, so we've got a lot of good resources there. The Veteran Crisis Line, which happens to be the same as the Suicide Crisis Line, 1-800-273-TALK. That is in the chat box. If you were giving advice, next question, to a young man or woman who was enlisting, what would it be?
To serve with honor, respect, and never give up.
Just serve, basically, serving your country, believing in your country.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
God bless
Uh,
America.
when you go in, it's not just the fun and games of touring the world or anything like that. You'll get to go places. That's going to happen automatically.
Mm-hmm.
But serving and be willing to serve, yeah, that's basically what I would say.
I would also, the advice I would give to them as well, what is your understanding of serving in the military? And just like sort of ask them some questions and to see how they would answer. And just from after asking the questions, to see if I could give some extra advice or help them along with some of those questions. To be able to do that. Because I've seen individuals go into the military who go in, and I'm not trying to discourage anybody, but they really go in and they really truly don't know what it's about, right? Because sometimes there's misconceptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know some didn't realize that they had to be really physically fit, right? To where it became a disability, to where they had an unhonorable, they had a medical discharge. Some would get honorable and unhonorable discharge, So I think it's about making them aware of the commitment, to let them know that when you're going into the military, you're theirs 24/7.
Mm-hmm. You belong to the military.
You do as they say, you go as they say.
Yes.
It don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It could be 4 o'clock in the morning. They're going to blow that horn. And guess what? You better be up, your boots on, in your fatigues, your hat,
Always
and you
ready.
better be
Mhm.
down in line with your platoon,
Always
right?
ready.
So I think that there really needs to be education provided, and not saying there's not, but that the person knows exactly their involvement.
Yes, ma'am.
To what they're getting into. So that would be my advice, Peg, for them to know exactly what they're getting into, because sometimes they don't know what they're getting into, and then sometimes they don't know how to get out, and and then some are very, very proud of everything that they've accomplished in the military and being part of the military.
Yes, ma'am.
And compared to when we went into today, a lot has changed over the years. So that's what I would, the kind of advice I would give them.
And
Yeah.
as far as actually just kind of getting about the military, there is actually local programs in your areas. It's called the ROTC, Recruit Officers Training Program. And these programs are actually in your high schools. So your kids can actually sign up for these programs. There's an academy schools that you can actually go to and be in part of the, to see what the services are about. And that kind of gives you the basics before you actually go into full active duty.
Hey, well, I love the thoroughness of that answer. You definitely want to manage people's expectations. On the one hand, yeah, you'll get in shape, you'll have opportunities to serve, you'll learn how to be a team member, but you give up a lot. You sacrifice a lot.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Sure.
I gave some.
Yeah.
Comment from Facebook: as a USAF nurse, I had the opportunity to meet people from many walks of life and many different countries. It has been a big part of my gaining a skill of working with a wide variety of people, respect for others. Thank you for that, Facebook watcher. I appreciate your spending your time with us tonight.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. That's so good to hear. That's what you do learn in the military, right? Discipline and respect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I see.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. The next question is, what is the 3-digit number for a suicide hotline? And it's been proposed that there be a 988 suicide hotline, but I don't believe that is active at this time. I believe it's a campaign as something that should happen, unless someone has more current information than I do.
That's just still in the works as far as last I've heard.
Okay. And
Gary-
executive. Go ahead.
Gary, I'm sorry, Peg. Gary put in the chat, I think it starts next year because I know that they're going back and forth. Yeah, it will begin next year.
Okay, thank you for that update. So it will be 988. We're looking forward to that. It's a great idea. Right now, it's not effective, but you've got your 24/7 suicide hotline, and that gives you an option to hit, I believe it's number 1. If you are a veteran, yeah. Press 1 to be connected with a veteran crisis line that's very specific to you. You can talk with another vet.
Yes.
So I don't see other questions right now. While there's a lull in our conversation, I'll ask people, please tune in with us next week. We've got a really interesting guest with us, a NAMI father. He's got an adult daughter with schizophrenia. He's also an attorney, and he wrote a book about how to access the mental health system and master all the complex rules and programs that you have to learn to deal with when you have a child who lives with serious mental illness. So please join us next week. That'll be a really fantastic conversation and a really good show. Please fill out the survey that will appear when you leave this Zoom conversation. It's helps us show our funders, this is what we do, this is what people think of us, and it will help us to improve over time. We need to know what we're doing well, what we could do better. So if you could take a couple minutes for that, I think it's 4 questions. That would be awesome. Thank you. You know, if you guys want to sing Stand By Me, if we're feeling brave, we could do that. I could pull up the lyrics. I'm not seeing other questions, but I love all the comments in the chat
You
box.
ready, James?
It's
Lean on me, James. You take
First
the
of all,
lead, James.
we do not have copyrights.
We do not have copyrights.
We haven't
Yep.
practiced in a long time, so think it not strange when we sound real well, real powerful.
Yes, lean on me.
Okay, so it sounds like that's a thumbs down on
I'll
lean.
let James take that off if he wants.
Oh, did I say Stand By Me?
Right.
Lean on me.
Don't have copyrights. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain. We all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we always know that there's tomorrow. Lean on me. When you're not strong,
I'll be
your hero.
I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. That's all I know.
I have lyrics in front of me.
Oh, I just shared this.
I think we've done a great job. God bless him.
I think we
I
did.
think we've done a great job on it. Now, if we can just get you to do that with your neighbor, guess what we'll do? This will make the world a better place. Lean on me.
Yep. Yeah.
That's right.
Lean on your neighbor and lean on somebody else. You keep
Sure.
leaning on somebody,
I got to sing it
Yeah.
finally.
awesome.
All right. Wonderful job. That was beautiful, James. Well, thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate everyone for being here with us and for sharing your insights and your stories, all that you've learned and all that you give. Please be well in the week ahead. Remember, it's okay to talk about mental health. It's okay to ask for support and lean on us here at NAMI. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Honors for all you military veterans out there.
Congratulations once again, John,
Thank
and all of you
Yeah.
for all the work you do.
Our champion.
Night.